Srini, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You are SVP, Global Head for Data and AI at Wipro.
Mhm.
I would like to congratulate you for being a finalist in Data and AI this year at Microsoft Ignite. Thank you so much for your partnership and all of the excellent work that we've done together. So please extend my congratulations to your team.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's a pleasure being here, James. Thank you for having me here. Namaskara. Uh, yes, the competition was extremely tough. I am told that there were hundreds of nominations, and making it to the final is a good outcome. But you know what? Being a business lead and running the business, it's not good enough. We got to win it, and I hope to win it next year.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Srini, being a finalist in this competition, right, in this very large group of companies that partner with Microsoft, um, how is that going to accelerate the work that you do next year with Microsoft?
Yeah, so looking at some of the announcements that happened today, very excited with some of the integrated offering that are coming out in the as part of your general availability, right? Especially the Foundry IQ, the Work IQ, and the Agent HQ, etc. It actually brings many components together and makes life simpler for SI and a consulting firm like ourselves from an implementation standpoint. But more importantly, it helps accelerate the value realization for the customer by a greater efficacy and efficiency, right? So, very excited. In fact, we have crafted quite a few our own flavors of go-to-market with Microsoft components underpinning that. And it will only accelerate our business and hopefully growth for both of us and success for the customer.
Absolutely, absolutely. Srini, can you share how Wipro is distinguishing itself as a leader in data and AI across such a wide range of industries?
Yeah. So, very interesting question, but it's hard to culminate all of that in a 2 minutes. But I'll try my best, right? So there are a few dimensions in which we are working as to differentiate ourselves in the market, to distinguish ourselves in the market, and thereby making ourselves more presentable to win more deals and deliver more value for our customers. So first one is the culmination of all that we have done for the last decade and rinsing that with AI first lens with respect to all the solutions, accelerators, IP, and creating a more unified and a simpler go-to-market capability, not only from a go-to-market marketing messaging, but also the underpinning capability for us to implement things faster, better, cheaper, more efficiently. As such, is the launch of Wipro Intelligence. It's the effort. It's the culmination of all that we have done into a single war cry or a go-to-market where all of our capabilities are being hung around that, right? Wipro Intelligence is something that we launched. Underpinning that, Vega and Wings are the two major horses or platforms. Vega is for all things that we do with respect to build and development lifecycle, and Wings is all to do with operationals, especially in infrastructure managed services or application managed services, or even PPS services for that matter. So that's how we are. That is one of the axes wherein we are very rapidly evolving and adapting and embracing the new technological capabilities that are available in the marketplace, bringing things together, assembling. That is what we do as system integrators, and making it easier for us to implement for the customers for value realization. That is one. Second element is in terms of increasing our market brand perceptions, but also equally as emerging as a thought leader. Right. So I'll go to a couple of things that we are doing in the data and AI space to emerge as a thought leader. One is we undertook a very deep primary research with our customer base, and we spent close to about 20,000 man hours in assembling this one of a kind report, both qualitative and quantitative, and that culminated in an effort called as State of Data for AI research report. It is endorsed by Gartner as well as one of the best research. And that is a guiding book for us in terms of go to market. So that is giving us a lot of positivity when we talk to the customer, because that's a culmination of many of our customers. Second element, I would say, in the same building the brand and the thought leadership in the market, is we refreshed and relaunched Chief Digital Data and Analytic Officer Circle, CDAO Circle, right? And that circle is a peer network group. It is run by the CDAOs for the CDAOs, right? It's a peer-to-peer network group, and that circle is growing significantly faster for us. So more and more people are coming into this. So what is the value add that we give for this particular peer community is to do more such research reports that we did for data for AI, similar elements, which helps the customer from their adoption, from their implementation perspective as well. So there will be more programs that we do around this. So that's on the second dimension in terms of building brand recall and or thought leadership in the marketplace. The third axis, I would say, in terms of distinguishing ourselves, is in terms of our venture investments. So we are Wipro has an arm called Wipro Venture. We invest in frontier tech capabilities, and bulk of our investments are in the AI space and also in the cyber space. There are other areas, but these are the major bulk areas. So some of the recent venture investments that we have done include Factory.ai, which is for software development lifecycle. We also invested in Pay.ai, which specializes in observability and FinOps in an agent and an agentic world, right? Perspective. RC is another one which specializes in lightweight LLMs models for specific scenarios. So investments of this nature is helping us to sharpen our solutions and take the frontier tech capabilities, embed in our solutions, and thereby making customer implementation that much more richer to unlock values better and faster, right? So that's another area where we are investing big in terms of bringing better things and greater things to the customer base, right? And giving us a distinguishing capability in itself. The fourth element is also in the acquisitions, full-time acquisitions that we have done, especially cutting across both the tech space and also on the industry domain space as well. We recently did Harman Digital Transformation Services Solution Group acquisitions, which largely specializes in deep R&D aspects of it in the Industry 4.0 space, and more so in the infotainment space, given that they come from Harman as a background. And that is largely data and AI oriented capability groups as well. Similarly, we did Agni, which is specialized on the insurance segment. We did ABT, which specializes in operations world, and so on and so forth. Right? So the acquisitions is also another way where we are trying to distinguish ourselves in the market and bring better things for our customers. Pedestal. So the list is endless in terms of the things that we are doing, but these are the 3 or 4 major ones that I would like to call out, which is allowing us to distinguish.
So, Srini, there is a recent report that Wipro published, the state of data for AI, and it had some really interesting observations and conclusions. Could you give us a summary of that report, your insights, your recommendations for industry and for customers?
Sure. So it was one of a kind primary research that we did, and we spent close to about 20,000 man hours on that. We did that research along with our customers, dominantly in the as a chief data officer or a chief data and analytics officers. We did have a few customers, partners participate as well as part of this research. It's many people's effort culminated, and there are many such reports that we are now working on in the data and the AI space. The one that got released is called State of Data for AI, which basically puts the focus and attention on the importance of data for realizing the value with respect to AI. Right. In my humble opinion, the value realization from an AI standpoint is directly proportional to the quality of the data, is directly proportional to the readiness of the data of an organization. And that's something that some of our customers are grappling with as we speak. So few facts of the research. Good 80% of our customers are on an AI journey, right? And now that the report is dated already, I would say 100% of our customers are have an ambition and an aspiration, and they're already doing a lot more proof points as such, right? 100% of them want to embark on an AI. But what we realize as part of the research is a good 70% of them are not hitting their mark with respect to the realization of the benefit. And when we trace it back as to why the outcomes are not there, it fundamentally boils down to the availability of the data in the form and the shape that AI engines and the AI aspects, especially not only the agents but also the agentic processes, can access and deliver value for the customer. That readiness is where there is a wanting. More effort need to be spent, right? So this report further dwells into the root cause for it, the both the qualitative side and the quantitative side. It is also one of the report that Gartner co-signed, and they're also sponsoring, and they're also marketing along with us on that, because the enrichment of that, or the outcome of that report is fairly interesting for our customers. In fact, now we have populated, or rather did close to about 10 plus briefings to the digital media. The report has got quite a few eyeballs. It is helping us position as a thought leader in the marketplace. Equally, it is also providing a guide from a customer base, from a customer perspective, as to where to start with. Um, Largely, we categorize across four archetypes, right? You were referring to it earlier. Um, the first one is the beginners, right? The people who are doing a lot more experiments, a lot of proof points, and thereby getting a hang of things, both technically and non-technically aspects. And pretty much everybody of our customer are in that space, right? They've already ticked that boxes. They're all doing that. Some of them have migrated to what I call as front runners or frontiers, where the implementation is at a scale, right? And the value realization is also at a scale as such, not only from a AI for their IT workforce or the business workforce, but also even from a business perspective, right? Which is stitching the customer services and customer engagement as such. Then there are two other categories, if I do a 2 by 2 metrics, right? One is dauntless, right? These are the people where the business is very, very gung-ho about the impact of AI and the possibilities with AI. And there is a lot of sponsorships and push and drive from the business side. But unfortunately, the tech side of the picture is not great, and they're not able to drive the outcomes at a pace that the business wants to, right? So there's a catch up from an IT perspective. And then there is another category where the IT robustness definitely exists, right? But however, the business sponsorship is bit limited. When I say sponsorship, while the intent is there, the trust is missing, right? Trust to allow the agentic processes and agents to make decisions and choices on behalf of the human. And trust is something that you can't give. You got to earn. And in an AI space, it has to earn based on the outcomes it is going to deliver in bits and pieces before a big bang can happen, right? So we see these are the four typical archetypes. From a spread perspective, I would say good 45-50% of them are still in the beginning space. 15% on an average are in the other three categories, right? So that's how at least our customer base is right now.
What's interesting about your observations, Srini, is um, the focus on data,
Mhm.
because the the announcements that we made here at Ignite,
Mhm.
I think, will go uh, down the path to helping resolve some
Mhm.
of those concerns, right? With Work IQ,
Correct.
Fabric IQ,
Mhm.
but there is certainly uh, a need
Mhm.
for trusted partners
Mhm.
like Wipro,
Mhm.
who understand the customer processes, the business, and the customer data.
Oh,
The data supply chain is different from the data in finance and the rules around governing it. So taking a look at the announcements we've made, how is Wipro preparing themselves for addressing this data problem with these new tools that
oh,
Microsoft is making available?
okay. So I'll take a step back before I get to the core question that you said, so that the larger context is well understood. Thereby, I can then correlate in terms of how Microsoft technology platforms capabilities are helping accelerate our perspective. Uh, Over the course of last few months, we've been on a journey internally in terms of pulling together all of our capabilities with respect to various IPs, the patented IPs that we have, solutions, accelerators. Uh, with some of them are in-house built, many of them are built along with partners like Microsoft, cutting across many disciplines. Right? Look, AI is very ubiquitous. It is there in infrastructure. It is there in business processes. It is there in deep R&D elements. So it is like cloud, right? It is ubiquitous everywhere. So the capabilities that each of our units had built, we have now assembled all of that with AI as a lens for all of our capabilities, so that the power of 1 plus 1 can be two, more than two, right? And we brought things together under Wipro Intelligence, more as a brand, more as a marketing, more as a war cry, right? And underpinning that is a simplification of all our assets and capabilities, right? Where there are many capabilities, we are now collapsing them together, so that when we walk in from a customer implementation standpoint, pretty much the whole 9 yards is available in that kit, right? So dominantly within this Wipro Intelligence, there are two capability platforms that we have built. One is called as Vega, which focuses on addressing all things that are necessary and relevant and needed in the build and the development life cycle of any project or a program that we go in from an implementation standpoint. It could be from a software development perspective, from a quality engineering standpoint. It could be in model tuning. It could be in synthetic data. It could be in putting together the data pipelines, building applications on top, or building agentic process end to end. Right, all of that comes under Vega, which is more on the build side of the picture. The other side of the picture is called Wings. Wings basically brings together all of our capabilities, all of our past learnings, experiences, expertise, and all the various assets that we have in order to do the implementations more efficiently and increase the efficacy with respect to run side of the house, right? In terms of application support and maintenance, infrastructure support and maintenance, BPS process running element, right? BPO aspects of it. So all of that run components that are necessary for us to operate better, deliver things better, deliver things faster, and more accurately is all brought under Wings. So those are the two main, I would say, horses that are going to be driving the chariot of our work right into the market from a Wipro Intelligence standpoint, and that's our way of positioning the larger AI capability of the organization, right? And then there are many other towers underpinning that, right? Not getting into the details of it. Now, when I look at these two major platforms, the underpinning technological stack is Microsoft oriented. Especially while we have put together this capability based on our past experiences and some of the assets that we had, not only from Microsoft but also from the other partners. But looking at the announcements that happened over the course of last 24 to 48 hours, right? Especially the way the Fabric IQ has been brought together, the way the Agent 365 or the Agent Control Towers have been brought together. So those are some of the capabilities that we had to put things together by pulling in various capability aspects. Now, all of that now being made available from a single platform eliminates a lot of difficulties in bringing things together, right? Because most of that work is already done within the platform, within the product, which Microsoft just announced, right? So now that imbibing of that into Vega, into Wings is what the focus is right now. Thankfully, we are a partner with Microsoft. I didn't learn about this in last 24, 48 hours. We have known about this for many months, because there's a lot of work that we did along with you as one of the pre-general availability partner, right? So all of that is now being how do I put it, is being colored with Microsoft, put it that way, right? By bringing all of the best and unified capabilities of the new platform. So that's where the focus is, and that's where Microsoft is helping us increase the velocity with which we can run in the market, deliver for the customer.
So, this Wipro Intelligence platform, you discussed the build side and the run operating side, and it's something that you've had in market for a while. You have some excellent case studies, some customer success stories where you deployed and used this technology.
Components of them, yeah.
Could you walk us through at least one of those success stories?
Yeah, so why don't I pick the case that we submitted for the award, right, which we came as a finalist. It's for JFK, probably one of the largest airport, which manages or rather supports 25 million customers on an annuity basis. It was that implementation that we submitted. So let me talk about that, because it's pretty much floor to roof. It's Microsoft stack end to end, right? You name any technological component in the architecture is predominantly Microsoft in nature or Azure in nature, right? So the program for us was increasing the decision making ability and more timely decisioning making ability within the airport operations in itself, right? Like you can imagine, in a typical airport, you have a retail, which is a business of its own nature. Then you have terminals and passenger management, airline management, crew management. There are many things that needs to come together.
It's basically a small smart city.
Yeah, you call it that way, right? And highly regulated and high
And
secure
regulated
and
and
high
secure.
secure city, right? So the ask and the challenge was, how do we enable, when we looked at the platform, when we looked at the estate, given the diversity of the areas that are there, right? Like I said, retail, airline operations, and so on and so forth. The more than 50 plus different vendor technologies, capabilities had to be brought together from a data, so that the signals and the decision making becomes that much more easier for us to apply AI on top of data, right? So one of the accelerators from this Vega family that we utilized from a platform is provisioning of the data and aggregation of the data, improving the quality of the data, increasing the lineage, and building the meta information about it, is a component that we utilized there, which allowed us to accelerate the whole assembling of the data for the AI pieces, for the decision making pieces, for the BI and the conversational BI aspects, got accelerated by more than 50-60% for us, right? So we were able to deliver this thing faster. Why we were able to do that? Because these components were built with Microsoft as a powering capability behind the scene, right? So it was more of a deploy, run faster. So right now, we have, I would say, we have done, probably customer does not call it as phase one, but we call it as phase one, because the grunt work is done in terms of bringing data together and enabling many of the decision making, right? In terms of ability to predict a congestion and and proactively take action in order to eliminate the congestion in itself, right? So there are many such capabilities that is already built, but with the data assets that we now have built for the airport, the possibilities of applying all the AI capabilities and the AI use cases and scenarios uh, becomes that much more faster, right? And of course, with the new Fabric capabilities that is being announced now, realizing those business applications and agentic process becomes that much more simpler and easier as we move forward. Yeah.
So there's customers today
Mhm.
that are just now starting to think about going down the path that
Mm.
JFK started
Mhm.
a year ago,
Mhm.
2 years ago. What what advice, what recommendations would you have for a customer today based on your learnings at JFK and other
Yeah.
locations?
Yeah. So look, when we did this state of data for AI research report, um, that encapsulates a lot of our learning, not only from our existing engagements, but equally from customers where we are just getting started with, right? So we encapsulated all of this, and look, as IT players and salespeople, we always want to put an acronym and a fancy name to it. So we called it as advanced framework, right? And each letter stands for certain elements. Rather than going in a sequence, I'll list a few of the elements, right? What customers who are excelling in this space with respect to realizing value from AI, the things that they do as part of their genetics, as part of their DNA, right? One of the good things that these successful organizations are doing is they increase the literacy rate of data and AI across the organization. Now, that's one element that some of our customers, or even most of the implementation, tend to ignore, right? See, look, making, as I said, the trust factor need to be built. When AI is going to make decisions for you, make your life simpler for you, make smarter decisions for you, and so on and so forth. So the level of education and literacy for data and the decisions that are going to be made by the AI, and given that most of the technology, including your new announcements or even the previous ones, is very citizen developer oriented, right? You and me as a business leads can actually build our own agents, build our own agentic processes. That much more simpler, right? If you don't increase the literacy rate and allow and also talk through on the change management, that people have to fundamentally change the way they operate, they pursue, because they know they don't have to depend on IT teams. They can do a lot more things on their own. So there's a lot of change management and literacy that need to be put together, and most of the successful organizations have taken this as a very hard track to run in itself, right? So that's one, not only on the technical side, but also on the non-technical side. The second element is data for AI, right? They've got their data act extremely well charted, right? There is a lot more discipline with respect to governance, data stewardship, metadata, ontology, taxonomy, lineage. Some of this basics bread and butter is very well established and is very robust, right? And deploying some of these capabilities like an Azure data lake or Azure data bricks data lake, lake house, etc., becomes that much more simpler, because once that is all there, the backend information is all there. Your ability to use from an AI perspective becomes that much more simpler. Then you can not only look at automation, you can really work towards an autonomous elements as such. That's the second element that they do well. Third element is there is always a debate. How do we rally the support of the organization, right? Seeing is believing. Value unlocking needs to happen faster, right? You can't start a project in an AI space to say I'm going to deliver value after 2 years, right? In that 2 years, the backend platforms would have changed radically because business is not stopping, and many leaders would have changed their organization roles and structures as well, right? So you got to create a very quick wins for the customers, right? So there is some of the most successful customer. Intuitively, we believe that let's take the smaller one, easier one, deliver faster. But as part of the research, when what we found is the people who are really successful have taken the real hard use cases, right, or taken the use cases which can deliver maximum benefit, maximum efficiency in itself, right? So that was very counterintuitive when we did the research, right? Look, as humans, we always want to do easy things first. But the real successful organization have done the hardest things first, especially taking end-to-end processes, going after agentic, autonomous, directional travel, right? But there is no right or wrong, right? But at least the successful organizations have done that. Like this, there are 7 or 8 such good things that we have found in successful organization and in our own successful implementations, which is what is encapsulated within the State of Data for AI research report.
So what struck me about our conversation, Srini, is if I understood correctly, two of the three things you mentioned are all about humans
Yeah.
and the people, right? It's getting them better skilled and they're more comfortable
Mhm.
with the AI so that they're not fearful of it. And then the other thing I heard was the organization,
Correct.
right? So, um, what really resonates with me is that our efforts have to be focused on people
Correct.
and not so much on the technology.
In all of these elements, tech is the most easiest part,
Mm.
right? With all the advancements that are happening and the pace with which the advancements are happening, tech is the most easiest thing, right? Getting people together, getting end to end, because it also starts blurring the boundaries between the organizational structures between an IT and a business and an operations world, right? And there is a level of readjustment that need to happen, right? The way the work flows will also change as you adopt more and more AI elements. So the hardest part is getting that right, getting the winning the trust, confidence, and getting people to work alongside as you adopt, right? You cannot deliver and then say you need to adopt, right? You got to carry the team along across the board.
Mhm. So, to close, Srini, I would like to thank you.
Thank you.
One, for being a valuable partner, because at Microsoft, we need partners
Mhm.
like you to help solve these problems for the organizations and for the people. We bring the technology, you bring the innovation, you bring the deployments, and you bring the value
Mhm.
to our customers. So, a big thank you for that. A big thank you for participating with us in the early access and previews of
Mhm.
these new announcements. Um, and a congratulations for being a finalist in the Data and AI
Thank
award.
you.
So thank you for your partnership, and I look forward to an amazing year partnering with Wipro.
Thank you. And it's a privilege to be here and recording this small talk or a short talk. And thank you for taking us all the way through finalist. So once again, thank you. Thank you, James.